Hell yeah.
I'd say if the question was who's the best looking, I'd say the guy that sits in the middle. But
Well, I can tell you right now, you look like you're from Hawaii, so I think
We're just trying to have fun out here, and our idiot kicker got liquored up.
yeah, Holiday World for me because I'm not tall enough to ride the roller coasters at Kings Island.
Hell yeah.
Stay in school, kids, so you don't end up like me. They say challenging.
It's a dog.
I had number 2, I had Lose Yourself by Eminem.
Okay.
Mom
That's a
Spaghetti.
good one. That's a good one.
Mom Spaghetti.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, he discuss. And if you like him, that tells me a lot about you.
I was in the gas station today, and a sweet old lady did say hello to me. I think she was into me.
Question.
We'll get a little bit more serious here. Bigfoot, I know you're out there, and I'm coming for you.
7 Nation Army by the White Stripes.
Number 3. Without the chicken.
If you've ever heard a rumor about me, it's definitely true.
Hey Jonathan, you want to come back to the horseshoe fight?
Perfect.
I can't even think of it.
Got it.
I'll look it up after
How's
this.
it going? How's it going?
I'm not gonna sing to you guys because I'm just too good. Obviously, I'd break glass or something like that, so I don't want to show off.
There's so much class. Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. I think that's a good one.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coaches from the Couch podcast. It is Labor Day weekend. We got probably a lot of barbecues going on, a lot of partying. Hopefully, a lot of people not working. But also, Labor Day weekend, if you didn't know, is the busiest fantasy football draft weekend of the year.
I guarantee it.
Have you had any fantasy football drafts this weekend, Carson?
Yes, I've had. So now I'm moving on to draft number 3 this weekend. So I started Friday, I had one. Saturday, I had one. Sunday. So this would be number 4, actually. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No, this would be my 3rd. I have one Monday and one Tuesday. So I have like 5 drafts in a row on each day. So I'm packed house. Like you said, it's probably the most busiest weekend for fantasy football.
So you had one yesterday, right? Or 2 yesterday?
I had 2 yesterday, and then one on Friday. So, and then one today, and then one tomorrow.
And how are those teams looking?
Oh, I'm always going to be biased, and I think that they're going to be good. So I'm going to say yes, they're good. But I mean, who knows? Injuries happen and all that good stuff. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you just never know. If you're in like a 10-man league, you got a 10% chance to win the league.
Uh-huh.
You're in a 12-man league, it's like 8% or whatever. So
it just keeps getting lower and lower.
You can be confident, but at the end of the day, the odds are kind of stacked against you. But it's all fun. But also, one of those drafts, we actually drafted together. We drafted a team yesterday, and I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that was my first. That was my first time ever co-owning a team. Like two people co-owning the league. It's a bigger buy-in, so we wanted to kind of co-own it. And then I think going into it, it takes a little bit more strategy going in with somebody because. Obviously, we have different interests on people, so
different builds that we might want to accomplish,
and we did have philosophies where we were arguing over which guy to take, and then there's sometimes, for instance, we took T.J. Hawkinson. For instance, we didn't even want to take he wasn't even on our mind. But then you wanted somebody, I wanted somebody, and then we were like, hey, let's just take the guy.
Split the difference and take a guy that's about the same value.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was definitely more difficult than I expected. Just because, I don't know, I guess I thought we would be more on the same page on a lot of players, but that's just not true, which I guess is really hard, People have different opinions on different players. I think our team turned out pretty good. I mean, we were looking at, I think we had Jalen Hurts, Josh Jacobs, Justin Jefferson and T.J. Hawkinson. So we're pretty good at like the four main positions, and that's what I really liked about that draft.
It also didn't help though, considering the fact I had a draft at 7 p.m. and then I had our draft at 7:30. So I was drafting two teams at once. So looking at a bunch of different players at different rounds. Definitely could have played a factor on strategic wise, because I'm looking at two different drafts, but that's my fault for getting into two drafts at the same time. So, I mean, nothing much I can do about it.
Yeah, anytime I've ever tried to do that, drafting two teams at once,
it's difficult.
It is. It just makes you dizzy.
Yeah.
Like you get confused because you're looking back and forth between screens, and not fun.
Pretty much all the time. Every day of my life, I'm multitasking, so I'm getting pretty good at it. I literally 24/7 multitasking. Like right now, I'm multitasking.
So you believe multitasking is possible?
I'm doing it right now.
What are you multitasking?
Audio and editing, live.
Some people would argue that you're only doing one thing at that certain moment.
But not if we're live on a podcast, because that's one thing.
Because you're not technically doing everything at once. Like, you don't have two hands in two different spots, and you're not looking two places at once.
Yeah, I mean, you can debate that, I guess, and that's all opinionated. So, I mean, we can sit here and debate this, but
jury's out on that one.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll move on from my multitasking skills and jumping to some football. Actually, hang on. Let's talk about it. So once again, we're down 1. Jacob is actually out of town. He's not at college and he's not home, so he's out of town. So I just think hopefully we can get him back Wednesday, because we're planning on next show being Wednesday. So hopefully we can get him back Wednesday and then get him back.
Well, I heard he didn't want to show his face after that Kentucky beatdown on Ball State.
That's true too.
Yeah.
I mean, so speaking on that, let's go ahead and jump into college football. College football week 0 started last week. It has been, I think, 8 days since we've done a podcast. It was a good week off because I'm going to go ahead and get into this. I literally was so busy in school, worked every day, so that's why we could not find a schedule to do this. Same thing with Jaden. Jaden was working, so it was a good week off. Good week because, football's starting back up, so now we're going to be ramping things up, possibly 2-3 podcasts a week. So back into that, at least 2 a week. Possibly 3, and we'll reach out and let everybody know about that. But like I was saying, week 0 started last week. There was just a few games. Notre Dame looked good. Obviously,
nobody cares about week 0.
I said nothing really. There was no really big games. Now week 1 started for college football this Saturday and today. I think there was a lot of good games. A lot of good, obviously, a lot of first exposition games basically. Kentucky looked good. It's not much you can say though. It's Ball State. I know Ball State is a smaller major D1, so I mean you can't really compare anything yet. That's all these high major D1s. I mean no one really played anybody amazing. I saw there was one upset that a team was favored by 17.5. I think it was North Texas, and they ended up upsetting and winning. But other than that, I think everybody else handled their business and moved on. But
yeah,
I could say though probably one of the better games was supposed to be the UNC and South Carolina, which during our draft we were actually watching a little bit of it. But Drake May looked amazing. He looked like he is solidifying that number 1 pick. He says, "I am better than Caleb Williams." Yeah. And so Drake May is setting his foot down and saying, "Here, let's get a good start to this Heisman running."
And speaking of Heisman running, what about Colorado's Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders? They looked way better than I could have expected.
Yeah, I mean, Sanders is a freak, dude. Anytime you have a parent, though, that is like Deion Sanders, who's arguably one of the best athletes of all time. I mean, this dude played Major League Baseball and also kind of like Bo Jackson. Anytime you can play 2 professional sports, you're a pro at 2 sports.
He played both sides of the ball in football sometimes. He played receiver sometimes. Just one of the best athletes of all time.
And then Travis Hunter. How can this dude? I was talking to you about it last night. How's this dude not win? How's he not going to win Heisman? I mean, if this dude can put numbers up, play over 160 snaps. Did you see that on both sides of the ball? He played over 60 snaps in the first half, and that's more than what most people play in a game. And he did that in halftime. He had an interception. I think he had a touchdown and over 100 yards receiving. So if he keeps putting numbers like that, he is Shohei Ohtani of football. And that is hard to do. Very hard to do. That's what makes Ohtani so stand out in baseball.
Mm-hmm. It'll definitely put a nice twist on the Heisman race because usually traditionally that's like a quarterback award strictly, and also powerhouse schools, like the Alabamas, Oklahoma, those type of schools. Like a Colorado two-way player is kind of something that we've never really seen in the Heisman race, so it's going to be interesting. I don't know if he's going to be able to dethrone Caleb Williams and all those guys, but he definitely has a good case. If he's playing both sides of the ball at an elite level, you got to give him some consideration.
Yeah, the biggest thing you got to worry about him is, I always say injuries, but it is true. I mean, this dude's out there on the field. He's playing 2 games in a matter of 1 game.
Yep.
Literally. I mean, and sometimes more. He'll probably be playing more than that by the amount of snaps he's getting. So, the biggest thing for him is injuries. I mean, that's the big question mark. And hopefully they play a little bit more cautious against opponents that are weaker, and then maybe just say, hey, you're just going to play a little bit more, just probably wide receiver this game. And then when he goes to play USC, Washington, all those bigger teams that are ranked, then, okay, it's like, all right, we're going to need you today, and he can make those plays. And then I don't know if you saw his interception. Did you see his interception? It was a diving catch in the red zone. It was insane. It was like, it shows that he's a wide receiver at playing corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely one of those guys, like when he's playing receiver, you better put your best corner on him, if not double cover him. And when he's playing defense, you don't throw his way. And that's a unique threat.
Yeah, and then also, jumping to another game, really good job by Indiana. I'm not, obviously I always like to knock on Indiana because I have a lot of Indiana friends, but, Indiana, I mean, they held their own against Ohio State. I know, Indiana's definitely nowhere in that caliber of Ohio State, but they held their own. I don't even know what the final score ended up being, but I can tell you for at least the first half, and I think even most of the third quarter, it was, Indiana was in that game, and good job, Indiana. I mean, I don't think they're a very good football program still, not yet. I think they're young. But I think, and speaking on another guy of Indiana, do you have anything on Indiana before I jump away?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I thought they looked great too.
Yeah.
Because Ohio State, obviously gets all the big hype with Marvin Harrison Jr. and whatever his name, Emeka, the other talented receiver. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
But they basically had 2 top 10 receiver picks on their offense, so everybody just expects them to be complete dynamite from the jump. And Indiana said, no, slow down. We're going to give you all we can give. I think Tom Allen coached a great game.
Oh yeah, it was 23-3. First half was 10-3 though. So yeah, first half was 10-3 Ohio State. Third quarter it turned out to be 20-3, and then Indiana only allowed 3 points in the fourth, so it's 23-3. So I mean, Indiana sounds like defensively they don't have a bad little unit there. So good job with the defense. Seems like offensively they got to pick up the pace, but granted you're facing a top major football
An
program.
NFL team, essentially.
So you're playing a top major NFL team. I think, so jumping away, still in the Indiana mix, a big talk about week 1 was Washington quarterback, former Indiana quarterback. Is it Michael Penix, that dude. He had 5 touchdowns. Looks like he balled out. I think he's a lefty, right? He is a lefty, I believe.
I don't know.
I think he's a lefty. And so anytime, it's kind of rare to see a lefty quarterback. I feel like the number one guy that stands out to most people's minds is Michael Vick. And I think he can run. Michael can. And so I think this dude was arguably supposed to be a first-round pick this year's draft. There was a lot of talk about him maybe going in the first round, late first round. I'm curious to see what he ends up doing at the end of this season, because I believe he is a senior. I believe. Yeah, I think he'd be a senior if he was going to go in the draft last year. So I think this dude has a chance to be decent in the NFL. I think he has the assets to be he's really fast. He can throw on the run. Pocket awareness is pretty good. So I think this dude could be a steal in the late first or early second. I think he could be a good pick.
I've seen a lot of people in the Twitter space, I guess it's called X now, have been actually saying that Penix is better than Caleb Williams. I'm not ready to go there yet, but I guess we'll see. I mean, they kind of play similar competition, so yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah, and then there were some other games going on. Nothing that really caught the mind. Texas handled their business. Wisconsin handled their business. And then one of the most eye-catching was everybody saw it. It was, I believe it was Arkansas State or
Baylor
or Alabama State. It was Oklahoma played them and they was it Alabama
I think
State?
that was Arkansas State.
Arkansas State. Well, anyway, I just know that the score was like 80-0. Coach was crying on the sideline. I feel bad for the dude, but Oklahoma, they look like they just went out there and handled business. They look like they're in mid-season form already. I was watching the end of the game.
Look at the stats from that game.
I was watching the beginning, or I was watching the end of the game. They put in their backup quarterback, Booty, and everybody was going crazy. So that was. Is he related to?
John David?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I wonder if he is. Because that's a very. I feel like not a lot of people.
USC quarterback.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see that. But yeah, poor guy was crying on the sideline. Do you believe in coaches crying on the sideline?
I don't not believe in it. I mean, I think emotion is a very raw thing. Kind of just happens.
Maybe you're a football coach.
Sometimes you got to show your players emotion.
Football coach is supposed to be the guy eating glass and like. I mean, look at Dan Campbell though. Dan Campbell. I mean, he eats.
There's different philosophies. You have some coaches that are going to sit back, be the nice, calm, cool guys. Yeah. Don't show a lot of emotion. Then you got some guys that. They're the motivators. They're the rage guys that just get hyped and run the stairs, break glass, like you said.
Well, like MCDC, like, I mean, the dude sounds like Stone Cold Steve Austin, but then, I mean, he cries in press conferences. So, I mean, I guess, like you said, maybe emotion gets the best of him, but come on, man. He just really likes football. He's just, he loves football. And now, so since we're talking about MCDC, football is literally, like, what? 5 days away, 4 days away, NFL, and so we're not big college fans. Jake liked college, but we're not big college fans. The main reason why we're doing this show today is to talk NFL. So let's get into NFL. NFL starts Thursday. It's MCDC versus Andy Reid. What a great first game on Thursday. We're definitely going to talk more on that Wednesday, but let's get a little preview. Like, aren't you just pumped for Thursday? Like, football is here. I mean, yes, we're pumped for Thursday, but I just can't wait till that Sunday morning. Sunday morning, you're setting your lineup. You got a full slate of games. Week 1, Scott Hansen on the call. You got the Octo Box. I mean, it just gives me chills thinking about it.
NFL Red Zone is an experience that I'm never ready for. It just hits me like a bus every single year because you just have this period in the summer. Once the NBA season gets over and it's just baseball, and I could care less about baseball if I'm being honest. So for me, it's like I don't even watch sports.
Go Yanks, but yeah.
So just getting football back after that long period of no sports is just incredible. Feels like I'm getting my life back to me. So
yeah, and that's the main reason. So I touched on earlier, like that we might be jumping to that 3 podcast a week or 2 podcasts, but we're gonna talk about it and decide that. But like. It's because all these sports are ramping up. The best sports. I mean, you got NFL, you got NBA, college basketball. Like, this is the MLB's going in the playoffs. Like, everything is just ramping up. Like, this is like the grit and grind of sports. Like, you can't get enough of it. Like, the worst thing about this time is starting school. School's already started, so whatever. Now it's time for sports season. Sports season's here. It is in beat red right now how close it is. So I'm pumped. Can't wait for Thursday, and we'll give a little preview of that on Wednesday. But
you got me fantasizing about like that time of year when it's like Halloween outside. You got the fall weather. The leaves are changing colors.
Yeah. I just don't think you can find a better season than fall. I mean, fall. I mean, like summer, it's too hot most of the time, and winter. I think winter's underrated. I know a lot of people don't like the cold, but I've always been a winter guy. I don't really like hot, so I'd take winter over anything. But give me fall. Fall's the number 1. 2 would be winter for me. 3 spring. 4 summer. I think summer's just overrated. It's just so hot.
I can't justify winter over spring or summer, but I could see that. I definitely like to wear like more heavier clothes. So yeah, hoodie season's real.
I just can't like I don't know. There's just nothing about I like going outside and just sweating. There's just nothing, and I don't even sweat that bad. Like going outside and sweating is just like the worst feeling. Like you just feel like disgusting. And then but then you go in the winter, you dress all bundled up. Next thing you know, you go outside and it's snow on the ground, about 10 degrees, and then next thing you know, you're all bundled up and you're still cold. Then you get in the car, then you hit the heated seats. Oh, and then it just feels amazing.
But also, you got the aspect of ice being on the road, and then when you get out of your car, you slip and fall on your back, like me.
Actually,
I'm a klutzy guy,
that is very thick of something. So I remember senior year. I remember I'm not going to mention any names, but there was a.
I know what you're talking about, and they should have canceled school that day.
So I just remember there was like, I'm not kidding. So they went through and plowed this student parking lot. They went through and plowed it. Mm-hmm. The snow was probably like 6 feet because they plowed it. The snowstorm wasn't 6 feet. We probably had what, 6 inches, 5 inches. It was a lot.
Yeah, it came down hard.
And then next, they got it cleared off. We had a 2-hour delay that day. And I just remember going into school. I park in the back of the student parking lot, looking across. Next thing you know, I see people just wiping out, like left and right. Next thing you know, I remember this one person, not going to mention names, was walking, saw another person fell, started laughing, and then they started walking, same exact spot. Yee! And they just fell right on their back. And I just remember like, oh my, I was dying laughing. And then I remember getting out of the car. Next thing I looked like Michael Jackson on that ice. I mean, I was moving, moves like Jagger. I'm telling you, I was like, hee hee. Like, I was like, it was bad.
You got to take the small steps. That's the trick.
Small steps, and honestly, you know what's underrated? Like, you look like a weirdo. Crawling. Crawling.
I don't know about that.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't do it in public. But like, if you ever feel like you're just on a pure sheet of ice, crawl. I'm telling you, it's underrated.
If it'll save you a trip to the hospital, I understand it.
I mean, like...
it might look a little weird.
Oh, so... Yeah, if I saw you crawling on the ground and in the middle of the, like, public, yeah, I'd probably... I mean, I'd probably call the cops. I mean, I don't know what you'd be crawling in the middle of the road for, but I'm telling you, if you're at home or something in the driveway, yeah, neighbors might think you're a freak, but, I mean... It's okay.
They already think that anyways.
Yeah, so like I think very underrated. If you ever need to, just crawl. Give it a chance.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So what were we talking about? Get kind of back on track instead of talking about
we got a little
high school.
Yeah. So we were talking about football. NFL starting this week. I mean, I don't really want to touch on it too much because I want to save that for Wednesday. Wednesday would be a lot of talk about Thursday night football and then the upcoming week of Sunday. So I don't really want to touch too much on that, but like giving like just that feeling that football is back. I mean, like I said, I've had like 5 drafts in the matter of 4 days. I still got 2 more to do. 1 tonight, 1 tomorrow. I just feel like, do you have any more drafts coming up?
I just have the league I'm in it with you on Monday, and that's my last draft. So
okay. And then I thought about maybe doing one more best ball for the NFL, and then I'll probably call it quits after that. And I'll probably try to do that on Wednesday.
What are your thoughts on best ball? Because this is your first year doing it, right?
Second. I did it last year.
You did it last year?
Yeah, I mean, underdog, it's different. The reason why I like it, the reason why I don't like it, but I like it, is if you're in multiple leagues like me, like I'm in a lot of leagues where I got to check. Good thing about best ball is if you do another league, you don't have to check to the league, technically.
You draft a team, you don't got to look at it.
You don't even have to look at it.
You don't even collect your money at the end of the year.
So that's the good thing about it. You don't even have to, because it's just best ball. Best player plays. But the downfall of it is, like, you don't have that connection, you know what I mean, to those teams, if that makes sense. Like, in my fantasy leagues where I check every day, I get trade offers, you can't get trade offers. Like, that's the downfall of it. But the good side is you don't have to... There's low maintenance.
I agree. I think the home leagues, like the ones where you're in it with your buddies, your family, your friends, your guys at work, I think obviously those still have the higher priority, and that's how it should be. I think best ball is meant to be out there. Things like Underdog are meant to not replace your home leagues, but kind of be there on the side as extra fun, and that I think serves a great purpose for that. And I think it's the best way to prepare for like your home league drafts. Mm-hmm. Certainly, like it's so sharp because every draft is paid money. If you do a mock draft on ESPN or Yahoo, the ADPs are going to be wildly inaccurate in my opinion because you got little kids logging on there and people draft the first 2 rounds and then leave. Whereas Underdog, they have to be over the age of 18 and they have to pay for the drafts. So it's just a lot sharper. So if you're doing Underdog drafts on there, it's probably the best thing you can do to prepare you for those home leagues.
Yeah, exactly. And so, stepping away from football, since, like I said, I don't want to touch too much on football because I want to talk about that Wednesday.
Which it's hard not to.
Yeah,
really
because it's ramping up. That's why we're amped up to talk about it, but I want to save it till Wednesday. And we'll probably do some predictions on what we think Thursday's going to happen. And then we'll probably even predict Sunday's games, too, on Wednesday. And so, unless we have another one later in the week, but we'll let you know.
Can we talk about Jonathan Taylor, though, real quick?
Yeah, we can.
I want to know what you think about the Jonathan Taylor situation, because I think we've talked about it so much, but we have to talk about it.
I mean, obviously Jonathan Taylor. Everybody, if you watch the show, you know it's my favorite player. I knew going in. I told you. I said the Colts were literally going to do the Lamar Jackson situation, and that's exactly what they did. The asking price was high. I love it. Chris Ballard, Jim Irsay, they wanted Jalen Waddle. He said, Jalen Waddle, come to the Colts. And then
that's nuts.
He also said there was also another player. I think they wanted Jalen Waddle and picks. And then there was another rumor about like Emmanuel Ogbah and a first-round pick. Come on over. And then no. So no big deal. I like the asking price high. So no, and then the mystery team we all figured out. If you watch sports, obviously you know or you got an update. Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers came out and said, I thought originally it was, so they just paid Aaron Jones. So I thought it was definitely Aaron Jones. I thought it was definitely A.J. Dillon since they already paid Aaron Jones. But it actually was Aaron Jones because they came out and said A.J. Dillon is not leaving this team. So they offered us Aaron Jones. But granted, you know what I mean? If the Colts wanted Aaron Jones, you're just getting older, and he already has a contract that's pretty high. Mm-hmm. So not very smart decision by the Colts. Not
doesn't align with what the Colts are.
So I think Chris Ballard, on the other hand, wanted A.J. Dillon because he's young, and he wanted picks with it. So I would have loved that. I'm a big A.J. Dillon fan. I think he would have fit Anthony Richardson, that ground and pound, Derrick Henry, option, get 3 yards of carry.
That guy's got some thighs on him, I'll say that.
So I just think, that would have been a great pickup, but no biggie. Chris Ballard, Jim Irsay, I would definitely say it was just Chris Ballard, said asking price is high. He thinks relationships can be repaired. I totally agree. Jonathan Taylor and Chris Ballard do not have a bad relationship. It is Jim Irsay, Jonathan Taylor, and his agent. That's the problem. Jim Irsay and Jonathan Taylor's agent, and I guess Jim Irsay and Jonathan Taylor. But Chris Ballard is in the middle. He's just the messenger, and I think all respect's good there. I think everybody likes Chris Ballard in the Colts organization. I think it's just all Irsay and Jonathan Taylor. But I think they handled it well.
So you think after this 4-week period where he's not going to be playing, how do you feel about that, first off? That he's not going to be playing the first 4 games as a Jonathan Taylor fantasy.
So, there's still rumor coming out that he wouldn't even pass the physical. And obviously, I think this is why he's going on the PUP list. The dude hasn't even practiced. I know he might know running back is easy to pick up in an offense. Obviously, you run left, you run right, you run a counter, you know what I mean? Yes, it's just more about concepts, where did I run? But it's one of the easier positions to figure out. That's why you can sign a running back on Tuesday and he can play Thursday. You just can. It's just easier to run. But the thing is with Jonathan Taylor, I just think he's physically unable to perform. That's why he's going on the PUP. I don't think he's healthy. Obviously, I don't know what he did. I guarantee he probably did get hurt in the offseason. And he's just keeping on a DL. But he gets these 4 weeks. Hopefully in these 4 weeks he gets healthy. I think he's going to come back, play for the Colts, and then he's going to have to make it or break it in this week 5 all the way to week 18 week 18. And then based on that, I think that'll determine what is his next contract and is he with the Indianapolis Colts.
So you sound very optimistic, is what I'm hearing.
About what?
The Jonathan Taylor situation. From other people that I've heard talk about the situation, they feel very different. They still have a strong feeling that once this week 5 gets here, Jonathan Taylor may no longer be on the Colts. He might be gone. Yeah,
but the thing is, though, if they were to do that, why wouldn't they have done it earlier to help their team now?
Couldn't find a deal that made sense.
So you think the deals are going to change when he...
as the season goes on, people are going to get hurt. People are going to see that they maybe need a better running back. Yeah. They might see that they're a win-now team. It definitely could change come week 5.
I just think they would have definitely done a trade to help because who knows what the Colts are right now? We don't know how good Anthony Richardson is. There's a lot of big question marks in the NFL right now. I mean, we could go down the list. So you got there's so many teams we don't know about. I mean, heck, technically, if you want to be honest, we don't even know how the Chiefs are going to be. We really don't. I mean, yes, they're most likely going to be good because they have Patrick Mahomes, but we technically just don't know. So who knows what the Colts are looking like with a guy, the most athletic quarterback of all time. I mean, he is the most athletic quarterback of all time, stat recorded. And so I think, who knows? I just think the Colts are going to wait it out, and then we're going to see where we're sitting at week 5. I think the Colts will be in a fair position. I think we'll be around 500, and I think Jonathan Taylor will be a Colt, and I think he will have a good year, and I think we will pay him.
You better hope that happens.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't going to hurt me if he doesn't, because you know what we're going to do? Franchise tag.
Oh, yeah.
And guess what? He's going to do all the trade thing again next year. Franchise tag.
Well, I just think that would not be good, because either way, he's going to be sitting out games anytime he gets nicked up, or he's just simply going to be unhappy. I mean, you want your players to be happy and want to play. Yeah, you do,
but at the same time, though, this all reflects to his agent. This ain't Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor wanted to be a Colt for life. It is the agent's fault. Yes, Jim Irsay shouldn't have said this. We've talked about this multiple times. But, it is just... Jonathan Taylor will be a Colt. That's all I'm just going to say. I'm going to leave it at that. Relationships are repairable. Chris Ballard and that Texas Southern voice, he's going to get the deal done. And Jonathan Taylor will be a Colt for life.
I'm glad you're optimistic. I'm scared off by it. I don't want anything to do with the situation. Per se, my upcoming fantasy drafts, I have him pushed way back there in the pick 90s. There's guys like Isaiah Pacheco that I would take over him personally, which seems crazy, but I'm super scared. Games. Yeah, I'm super scared by the Jonathan Taylor situation. Yeah, I don't want anything to do with it.
All right, so now moving away from football. That's enough football. So we might get into it in the next segment, but right before we take a break, and then we'll get into a game. We'll do a game after this break. But I want to just touch on a little bit. Baseball season's wrapping up. Baseball, the Reds are in a weird situation. We have we have one starting pitcher. That is actually an MLB starting pitcher. Hunter Green, COVID. Lodolo out for the season.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, I have to pull it up. I just had it right here. So we have, like I said, Hunter Green, COVID. Then we got, right here. We got Graham Ashcraft, COVID. Brandon Williamson, COVID. Ben Lively, he's hurt. And then Nick Lodolo and Connor Overton. And then, that's not it. Relief pitchers. Alex Young. I don't know if he has COVID or not. No, he's injured. Fernando Cruz. COVID. I mean, COVID? Are you kidding me?
She's back. Better than ever.
The old 1-Niner's back?
We're going to have the mask on before you know it, probably.
I thought we defeated COVID.
Back and better than ever, like I said.
The CDC said we defeated
the flu season's coming back, and just I think we kind of expected, the COVID is kind of the new flu, so.
It stinks.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
The CDC came out and said it's defeated.
Oh.
Dang it. Well, so yeah, the Reds basically just got hit by the 1-Niner. Didn't even know it was still alive. I mean, yeah. The whole team's hurt. So going forward, who knows what the Reds look like? We're in the wild card race. We're only one game back. We were tied with the Cubs when I came out here. Now it's 15-7. We just lost. Yeah, 15-7.
Who do we have on the mound today?
Carson Spears.
Couldn't tell you who that is.
He is a. Oh, you don't know Carson? He's a right.
This Carson.
He's a right-hander. Pure guess. Right-hander, probably 6'2", 210. Those are probably 95. Fastball, curveball, slider. Oh yeah, changeup. I mean, yeah, solid guy. I mean, yeah. I mean, look him up. See if I'm on the spot. I have no idea. That was pure guess. But yeah, Carson Spears, a guy. Let me tell you. But T.J. Antone's back. I do want to touch on him. That was pretty cool, emotional little story. He has been through 2 Tommy John surgeries. Most pitchers don't even make it through 1, and then their career's over. This dude's made it through 2, and officially is back. Had a scoreless inning last night. Crowd gave him a standing ovation. T.J. Antone's back. Too bad he had the long hair. He had the Jonathan India flow going, but he looks so cool when he has his Allen Iverson cornrows going. He usually has that. Maybe he goes back to that, but T.J. Antone is back, throwing 95 with 2 Tommy John surgeries. I think that's insane. What do you think?
Yeah, just an incredible comeback. You got to root for the guy. I mean, he was probably our best reliever. Anytime he's pitched, he's been good.
Reliever that 2 years ago.
And to have Tommy John once and come back from it is impressive. That's a thing not a lot of guys can do, which if you didn't know what Tommy John is, it's like taking a ligament out of your elbow and putting it in your shoulder.
Yeah, it's like weird.
But most pitchers that come back from it, they usually lose about 3 or 4 miles per hour of velocity, which is huge.
Granted, he was pumping probably 99, 98. He is throwing about 96 in the first game. So, but granted, that could change.
That's still pretty great velocity.
I mean, that's above MLB average.
Johns?
That's above MLB average, and he's still throwing gas. Great breaking ball, slurve ball. I'm not giving out on the Reds yet. They have a really weak schedule in the month of September and into October. I think the Reds have a legit chance to be in the wild card. The Brewers are kind of running away with the Central, but no biggie. I think we can get in the wild card race and see the Reds do something. And then one more thing I want to talk about my other team, the Yankees. The Yankees brought up 2 high prospects, Jason Dominguez and Austin Wells. Very bright spots for the Yankees organization. Austin Wells is a catcher, Dominguez outfielder. Once the Yankees signed Jason Dominguez when he was 17 years old, I liked the dude ever since. So I think Jason Dominguez, first MLB game he hit a home run. Yankees PA announcer always nails it when he's on the call. He gave it a good call. Jason Dominguez hit it out. I think it's like Aaron Judge, Stanton, Dominguez. Like, this team could be really scary next year. They had a little hiccup with injuries this year, and I think the Yankees will be back next year, especially with Cy Young, Garrett Cole.
I'm going to need his workout routine because that man, he is a big boy.
Well,
and since he was like 17, he's been that big.
You look at him, and when he was 17, you look at him, he looks like he's 25.
Yeah, he is big.
And now he still looks like he's 25. He's still young, but I remember when he was 17, I looked at the dude. He was a switch hitter, and the dude literally he's a 5-tool player. Mm-hmm. I mean, he can do it all. So those guys are scary. That's kind of what the MLB is moving to, though. All these prospects are moving to 5-tool players where they can do everything. And so I think baseball is actually kind of in a good spot. Everything's growing. You're seeing some players overseas even become like Ohtani, double pitching and hitting, outfield. MLB is moving to a good spot. Hopefully we can get it more exciting. Rod Merrifield came out and said that they are keeping the pitch clock, which I think is a big win for the MLB because it does speed up the game. That was the worst thing about baseball is how you can throw 5 pickoffs and then next thing you know, look over at the dude again and throw the number 6 and keep going until if you wanted to. You could basically sit there all night if you wanted to. Glad they changed that, speed the game up. And I think it's fair. I mean, it's fair to everybody. I mean, every pitcher has to do it. Every hitter has to get in the box faster. It's fair for everybody. It makes the game faster. Fans like it.
I think I did see the game times were quite a bit down from last season.
Oh, yeah.
30 minutes or so shorter, which is big.
Mm-hmm. But, so yeah, that was a good little first segment. Let's get into a game, and then we'll probably have a short little second segment. Even if we have a second segment, we'll get back into that, and then we'll at least do final words. But so we'll take a quick break, like 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll play our game. Sound good?
Yep.
All right. Alrighty, welcome back to the CFTC pod. Football's around the corner. We're going to set it to the side, though, for a little bit. Wait till the other podcast. Let's move into something else exciting happening this week. If you're in the video game world, maybe you are, maybe you're not, but NBA 2K24 comes out this Thursday. Thursday night, Friday. It comes out Friday. Very pumped for it. That is probably my favorite video game.
Mm-hmm.
Yours is Madden, though, right?
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah. But mine's 2K, and so that comes out Friday. What are we getting into? Like, what do you think? How do you think 2K is going to be this year? I mean, I've seen some stuff. What have you seen?
Well, there's a lot of pressure for 2K every year because it is the biggest sports game out of like Madden, MLB, FIFA might be bigger, but like here in the United States, 2K is probably the biggest one, I would say. So yeah, it's a big game, and they have to do everything well. And from what I've seen so far, it looks like they're making the changes that a lot of people were asking for, in terms of just making the defense and the offense kind of more balanced. So I think that's good, but I really haven't looked into it. I don't know how the game's going to play this year, but I hope it's good.
There's some interesting stuff I've heard. I've heard there's a dunk meter for every time you dunk now. Not a fan of that, but hopefully it's easy. So that, then you got, there's something else I saw. Cross-platform, that's a big thing this year. I think that's going to be huge for 2K. Like, every game's moving to it now. Madden moved to it, but, like, everybody can play together now. So, like, doesn't matter if you have PlayStation, Xbox. I mean, that doesn't matter. PC,
you can all play together.
Nintendo, like, you can play together. I think you're going to see it. I feel like you're going to see probably a lot more server errors. There's going to be a lot more people. So, in one big server. So, obviously, you're still going to have your Xbox and PlayStation servers. But I still feel like, there's going to be that main server. And I think you might see some more crashes early in the year. But, man, oh man, am I ready for it. Like, my team, I hope it's good. But, like, kind of like you said, you said that you've heard that they want to make it's a more balanced game. I'm ready for a more balanced game. I feel like in the past couple of years it's been 2 offense, 2 defense. I just want to, can we get in the middle? If not, though, I'd rather lean towards 2 offense. I'm not a big fan of the 2 defense. I want it to be high scoring. I want it to be fun.
Yeah, because that's what the real NBA is like.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not the 1990s.
Exactly. So
and games nowadays are like 115 to 106. They're not 85 to 90.
And most of those aren't even this year. Remember playing Rec this year. It's like those games are usually 50 to 60.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that you gotta get that up.
Well, it's shorter quarters. So I think that's not bad for.
Still, though, I mean, I just think I wish it'd be more arcadey though. I did hear that you don't have to green anymore, which I like. I think the green window should be smaller though. That's definitely true. It should be smaller. But I do like how they took away you don't have to green everything. Because if you white it, you missed it. So I think that's good. But so we're in our game segment, and we're talking about 2K. So hint, hint. So Jaden, what is our game today?
Yeah, we'll get into that. It is 2K related. When Madden came out, I think we did something related to this. But it's going to be a cover athlete thing. I'm going to see if you can name the last 10 NBA 2K cover athletes, including this year's cover, so 2K24. If you can remember who's on the cover of that.
So Kobe.
Yep.
Was Kobe on it more than 1 year?
Not for... these are just the base editions, so these won't be like the deluxe.
Okay, so this is all going from the last 10 years, is what you said?
Yep, from 2K15 to 2K24.
So Kevin Durant was 15, right?
That is correct.
So Paul George was 17.
Yep.
Steph Curry, was that 16? Anthony Davis, Steph Curry.
I don't know.
Or Paul George, no.
I know Anthony Davis, who you said was on there. It was they had 3 different covers that year, so I don't know. We'll count that, because I think he might have been on there.
What? Okay, if not, I guess 16 again. So, LeBron. Was LeBron ever on a cover?
He was just off the list. He was 14.
14, yeah, I was going to say, and the Heat jersey. Then there was, so what am I on next? 16?
You've got 17, 16, 15, and 24 so far.
Okay, so last year was Damian Lillard?
Nope.
Wait, was Lillard on there?
Nope. He was Damian Lillard was the 2K21 current gen. He wasn't the primary, though. There's a next gen cover that technically counts as the primary.
Okay, so then you got Zion.
Yep, that's who it was. 2K21's primary cover was Zion.
Okay. Trying to just think of
2K23 and 22 you still haven't got?
so 23. That was just last year. This like the 2K that we just been playing.
Mm-hmm. Kind of a weird cover in my opinion. I was very surprised they put this guy on there.
So he's not an all-star, sounds like.
He is, but he hasn't like won anything, like an MVP or a championship.
So I'm gonna have to jump ship and move. So that was 23. I still have 21.
22, 20, 19, and 18.
Alright, so you're gonna have to give me teams. I didn't get these. Just give me the teams.
I think you can get them. You just gotta keep striving. We got 2 bigs and
Was
3
Dirk
guards. No,
Dirk was a cover though on something.
he wasn't the primary cover.
Okay. Sue Bird.
Not the primary cover.
I feel like Damian Lillard definitely was though.
He was on the current gen of 21, but not the next gen.
Okay. Zion. Steph Curry.
You already crossed that one off.
I already got him. Kevin Durant.
You already got him.
Let's see. Kyrie.
Kyrie was 2K18.
Yeah.
So now you got 20, 19, well, 2K20, 2K19, 2K23, and 2K22.
Embiid.
No.
He was NBA Live.
Yeah. What happened to NBA Live? I haven't heard that game in forever.
EA fell off a little bit. Jokic, no, he would have been on it this year probably if Kobe wasn't on the cover probably.
Yeah.
Trying to think. This is like hard. So there's no. You said there's 2 big men, and I've.
2 power forwards, we'll say.
I said Anthony Davis.
Well, Anthony Davis, you didn't actually say him as a guest, but he is 2K20, so we'll go across it off.
I thought I did say him.
You mentioned him, but you never said him in your guess, because he was on that cover with Harden and Curry in 2K16.
All right, so AD, and then
there's another power forward in 2K19. AD was 20.
Power forward. Melo? I'm just trying to think of
No, it's a big player.
big player.
Not like a physically big player, but like a huge, basketball player. Hugely popular.
I feel like I've said everybody. Popular.
You're missing this guy. Think back to 2K19 where they had, I think Hidu Turkoglu was the cheesy My Team player.
Oh boy. That is a good question. I really have no idea. What's the team?
Bucks.
Oh, Giannis. That stinks.
You definitely should have got him.
Yeah. And then
You're missing 23 and 22. I thought you would have got these by now too.
Luka.
Yep, that's 22.
Yeah, and then 23.
You just don't know 23.
I
It's a player you definitely like.
do like him.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I like him. Kawhi Leonard?
No,
Wasn't he on a cover, though?
I don't think so.
He wasn't? Players I like.
Kentucky Wildcat.
Jamal Murray.
No.
De'Aaron Fox. John Wall. Cousins. I'm just trying to think of all Kentucky players. Booker.
Yep, Devin Booker.
Yeah, Devin Booker.
I thought that was a weird cover this year.
Yeah, it definitely was because, like...
It made a lot more sense. Like, since Steph Curry's never been on a cover before, and he just won the championship,
Yeah.
I thought for sure they'd put Curry on.
Well, another thing is I can't believe Jokic hasn't been on yet.
Well, he's not that exciting of a player. I think that's what it is for him.
I mean,
Like, you don't see kids walking around with Jokic
he
jerseys
has
too
the
often.
world.
He is.
Like, he has, like, overseas. Like, I feel like that would be a good branding, like, for 2K. So, Ronnie, if you want to hire me, just give me
I don't think you want anything to do with Ronnie.
Just give me
2K.
a LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. Just get it with me, and I can get you. Yeah. Okay. But man, that was difficult. That was tough. I definitely didn't think it'd be that hard. But you know, I'm in football mind. We talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
We're in football mind. Jumping ship maybe got the best of me. But so, like, now that the game's over, I think. I mean, I don't know. I think we're just ready to wrap it up, aren't we?
Yeah.
We get into some final words. I don't think we need to go over another segment.
Probably tell some people about the Q&A. I'm not sure when we're going to be able to fit that in, but that should be decently soon. You can find that form on our Instagram. There's links on all of our socials. You can find it. Ask us anything you want to ask, and we will try our best to answer it. We get to all of them. So yeah, ask us good questions there. And also, you want to tell them about the T-shirts?
Yeah, and so actually, hang on. That's right. No. Right there.
Yeah.
Right there. That's where our Q&A form is. Like, right there.
I think we get the point.
Okay, just making sure. So just type that in, you'll see it, and then you'll be able to go find our link. Same thing for the T-shirts, like right there. If you go right there, it's in our T-shirts. And get a T-shirt. We have our T-shirt orders ordered. They will be on the way soon, here soon. So we'll be reaching out in the next probably couple days. Or sometime hopefully next week we can reach out, and then we'll let you know if you ordered a shirt. We can get it to you, best way to you. And then we'll be sending a message on how payments will work and then stuff like that. But thank you for buying if you did buy. And if you haven't bought one yet, go get one. The shirts are very comfortable. I think they're a very comfortable shirt. Very like slim. Like, it's like a slim sport feeling, like a dry fit type material.
They're cool.
Yeah. So if you don't have one, go get one. 15 for small to extra large. 2X to 5X is 17. Go get one. Not a bad price. Good T-shirt. Good material. Go get a T-shirt, and then now you're ready to move into some final words. And then don't forget to ask your questions on Q&A, because Q&A is one of our most viewed stuff. So you guys like it, we like it. Gives funny stories. So go ask some questions, and then we'll do a Q&A. We'll get that scheduled.
Yeah. What? So final words.
Yeah, let's move into final words.
I'm gonna say fade Jonathan Taylor. If you're drafting in your fantasy drafts, don't take him until the risk is worth it. Because I think if you're taking him in like the top 5 rounds, to me, it's not worth the risk. You only draft him if it's at a point where you can take on the risk. That's my final words.
All right, and then mine is, I don't know, I just kind of like doing this. So this right here is our Instagram page, and then this over here is our logo. And no, that was my final words. I was like, I like doing this. So that is all I got. Hopefully we'll be back Wednesday. That is the goal as of right now. We'll message that. And then, Gene, you got anything else before we go?
Yeah, just as always, leave a like, subscribe. It really helps us stay in the algorithm, show support, helps us stay motivated to make these videos. Can't talk. But yeah, we'll be back soon. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you come back.
And then hopefully Jake's back next Wednesday.
Yep.
Or this Wednesday, I
Our
guess.
scared Ball State fan.
Exactly. Go Kentucky, and CFTC HQ out.